pocket got euros, left pocket got pounds.
Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the Cleveland Browns and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Nifty move. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie, one of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. And even 50 yards on the ground. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They go play action. Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. To throw, Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense.
And the pressure gets to him again. Emmanuel Ogbah make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And here are the Browns for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
I'll look that up later. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And congratulations on their win last week, but they didn't get a whole lot of time to celebrate it on Sunday. They were right back to work on Monday, but you'll have to do things differently when you prepare for a Thursday night game. Because normally you'll take some time off. Here you get right back to work on the game plan mentally, and probably not put any pads on until you play again Thursday night.
He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. On 2nd and 15 now. Winston, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mack Wilson coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and long for Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
Look at me. Go. Fight.
They go play action here on 1st down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Go now. 60 or.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That's taken in by Callaway. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Leo! Wait, lock it! Roll out. Shoot.
Now back to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Calvin Ridley with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 45-yard line. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Myles Garrett make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 3rd down, it's Burnett, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
57 to Mike. I'm not ready. Watch the shit. Move. Go. Watch the shit. Kill. Get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And some room to work. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Alpha.
They'll set up a throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught at the 25. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Check. Hey, Sam off. Go.
Back to throw here. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Check, check. Lucky. Rock it. Be grip.
They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. He'll take a shot for the... And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Calvin Ridley in the final seconds of the first half. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check 26. Look at me. Go.
Now a play fake here on first down. This one caught by Ridley. It's a big play there for the Browns. 46 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
You draw Corker. Shit. Look, squeeze.
And to give this time to the tailback. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Hard. Watch his flat.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 28-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. They'll run on first down. Burnett. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13, Winston. And he will find his man on the outside. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. On third down, Winston. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Ready, set.
The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
On first down, Donnelly. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 14. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Antonio Callaway, his 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of... And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. To try again after the sack. Winston, and a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Sam off. Look at me. Zipper. Go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now they'll run it on the toss. About 3 yards there to the 27.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Rock it.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? Just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Sliding out of the pocket. He'll try and run it, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Here's 2nd and 8. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to...
And a loose football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Go! 25, check 25. Ready?
Right back to him on first down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And he will find Ridley. That's complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Turn to stop. Go, go.
Tight end right. We got 4.
Leo.
SOS.
Get it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.